Yay! Wait, why are there so many boxes? How do I fix this? Why are there so many boxes?
Hello.
I don't want this many boxes. Why?
Okay, you got it.
I did not want that many boxes.
Okay.
Like so many. Okay, now hold on. I gotta share. I gotta share out the live. Give me a second.
Okay.
I like to make sure I have as much engagement. There's nobody injustice when there's nobody watching. Um, continue. Hi, Unc GT. Good. Well, it's not even afternoon anymore. It's not even morning. It's good. It's literally afternoon. Hi, Wana. How are you?
I
I
need to share
stopped
my
by your
video.
live the other day. Figure this out.
It's trying to do show video. Okay, there we go.
Okay.
Hello. Hello.
Hi. Guys, we have another master little manifester, Miss T. That's good. I am so happy because I have literally been reaching out to so many creators within this past week alone to collaborate with them on like doing lives like this.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like I quantum jumped because the old version of me, I more than like I the old version of me was scared of reaching out to other creators because I was afraid that y'all would say no. And so, hi, morning, well, afternoon. Um, I was afraid that like other content creators would say no to me. So I'm like, wait, did I like shift? Did I quantum jump? Does my self concept improve so much that I'm not even afraid of rejection now? And now
I know.
literally every creator that I have so far have reached out to has literally said yes, I want to like collab on a live with me. And I was like, yay!
Awesome. Yes, yes. And good morning, all. Great day to everyone in the chat. Welcome, welcome.
Yourself.
That's awesome.
So you want to
Well,
introduce
my name
yourself?
is Toya. I know it says prosperous living with a T, but my name is Toya. So nice to meet you, Queen
And I'm Sheila.
Sheila.
Everybody
Okay,
here.
nice, nice.
If you're
So yes, I when I saw your message and I went to check out your profile, I was like, oh, she's collabed with Lisa. I was like, okay, nice, good people. Then you were like, yeah, she referred me to you. I was like, oh wow, that's awesome. Yes, I missed the live. I was on vacation, so I didn't catch you guys live at the time.
you living your best life. It's okay. You out here living your best life, so it is perfectly fine. I'm all for it. I was gonna say, are you on YouTube?
Yes.
Okay, good. Because when we're done, I like to upload the live replay to YouTube, and I like to tag your YouTube channel in the title so people can go and click on it
Oh,
and go
nice.
to your channel. So that's what I usually do after I'm done. So
Okay, so what's the name of your YouTube?
mine is I am Sheila J.
Okay.
It's my handle, except for on here. This is the only place where my user, like my name is the Queen of Manifesting. But on everything else, it's I am Sheila J. And my username is I am Sheila J on here too. But the name is the Queen of Manifesting because my SP gave me that nickname. And then I just was
Oh,
like, you know what? I'm just gonna keep this and put this on TikTok because everything that would have I have literally manifested everything that I was not supposed to manifest and was told no
oh, okay.
multiple times. Every time. Every damn time. Like clockwork.
Okay, okay, nice, nice. That's awesome though. You said things that you weren't supposed to manifest,
Things
but of
that
course
you
you're supposed to manifest it, right?
yeah,
There's no such thing as no.
that's
There's no
true. There
no
is
in
no such thing.
manifesting.
There's definitely no such thing as no, but I think it's not in the sense of oh, like I know there's no such thing as no, but I mean it in the sense of people, the world telling me no, and I don't take lightly to the world telling me no. So I'm like,
Right.
oh, you told me no, okay, I'm gonna do it anyway. Watch me. Like,
Okay.
I don't know if it's just a me thing, if it's a Pisces thing, or what it is. And I've always been like this since I was a kid, where I'm like, you tell me no, and I'm gonna do, like, I'm still gonna do it.
Oh yeah, yeah. That's how you have to be. You can't accept no for an answer.
Yeah, you definitely can't say no for an answer. The crazy part is like finding you and then listening to your live yesterday while I was editing videos and stuff. Um, it's like a lot of the stuff that you were saying is like, wait, this is how I think. I think like this. This is my train of thought. And then I found, then you did that video about the microwave thing, and I was like, wait, I did a video on that. I already spoke on that. And then this morning, I found the first thing that I went on Instagram when I went on Instagram, I found a post from Michael Todd, and it was literally about the like patience and microwave.
Oh
I was
wow.
like, okay, here we go. Here we go.
Right.
Confirmation. Confirmation.
Yep, yep. That's it. That's it.
That
Yeah.
microwave. We don't want microwave soggy fries. We don't do
Nope.
that over here.
No salt and fries. Exactly. Nope. So how long have you been on this journey, on this actualization of the God self?
I've been on this journey since, okay, so I've always been like a question, like I've always questioned things. Like I've always been a questionable person. And so like I was forced to go to Catholic church. I felt like Catholic church was lying to me. Then I tried Pentecostal. Then I tried non-denominational. So I would go to a lot of churches. I'm like, something's missing. I feel like something's missing. Why do I feel like something's missing? And then I tried the law of attraction thing, and it felt like it didn't stick. Tried to go back to church, and I was like, yeah, still something feels like missing. And then 2020, was going through a really bad um relationship and with my ex SP, my ex, and I was heavily really wanting to fix the relationship, but I think I was trying to fix the relationship from a place of ego and hurt and having a lack of poor self concept, like a lack of good self concept. Um, I can admit that I felt like I was in a desperate state of mind,
Okay.
and I would for like 3 years I would like manifest him in, manifest him out. Like, and after like what May of last year, I said, you know what? This isn't it. I'm not doing this no more. Like, I'm getting harassed by your new girlfriend. I don't want this. You're not good. I'm not doing this. And I completely like I completely let go of it. Um, and just decided just to focus on me. But I've been on this for 3 years. I do thank my ex because had I not gone through that experience with him and all of the things that I went through with him, I wouldn't have gone back to school and graduated and got my degree. I wouldn't be here on this platform. I wouldn't be talking to you. Like, I don't know where I would have been. So I genuinely thank him for I thank him for it. Like I'm grateful. Despite the negative, like that negative and the toxicity stuff, it helped me to be the woman who I am today. So, how long have you been on this journey?
Well, I came into the law of attraction, I want to say in 2018, but I grew up not in church. I didn't grow up in church. So maybe preteen years, my I used to take the Jehovah Witness Bible studies. So I had the little gold book. And then my late 20s is when I went to a Pentecostal church. Was there for several years, got married, and married a minister. We had a couple of children from that marriage, and then it didn't last. Around 2005 or six is when I started questioning. What's interesting is that I was at a minister's wives gathering at one of the ladies' house, and after I left that gathering, I had this thought to Google this well-known prophetess in the community, and when I Googled this person, it came back that they were a false prophet. And then that just sent me down a rabbit hole. And I just started looking into the different denominations, wondering why we had all the different denominations. Why was it Baptist? Why was it Methodist? Why was it, Presbyterian? All of that. And then went to the pastor and with a few of my questions. And it was a relatively short conversation. He saw that I was really challenging a lot of the teachings, and he was like, I just hope to see you in paradise. And after that conversation, I left the church. I did go to another church because I was like, okay, the Bible says that the God always has a representative on the earth. So I'm still searching. Went to another church, was there for about 6 months. They actually interview you before they allow you to join the church. And they didn't know I was interviewing them because I was in the process of getting a divorce and I wanted to know their stance on divorce. And so they were more of a gray area than a black and white. And so because it was gray, I was like, well, God wouldn't be gray. God would be black or white, not in the gray area. So needless to say, I left church, went through my atheist type mindset for a minute, Pan-Africanism for a minute. Then I kind of just left it alone. I would have like little thoughts like, man, if they said everything is energy and that's what God is, then it has to be more to this life than what they're telling us. Because if energy cannot be created nor destroyed, then we really don't ever die. That was just a thought I had. I had never heard anyone say it, had never heard that concept before, but that was just something I was thinking within my own self. And then 2018, I was heavily at that time watching a lot of political news. So I was into CNN and MSNBC, and that's what I was watching on YouTube. But then I got a video that said law of attraction, and I watched it. It was a couple of hours, listened to it. By this time I'm married, so I got remarried in 2015. And my husband comes home and I'm like, I need you to listen to this. I need you to watch this. He watches it and we're both like, because I didn't tell him anything about it, just said, watch the video. And we both were like, this is what we've been looking for. This is the answer. And a few months after finding law of attraction, so I had, started listening to Abraham Hicks, Joe Dispenza, Wayne Dyer. I came across Neville Goddard. And so he teaches law of assumption. And I resonated more with that because it's biblical based as opposed to, yep. So I've been rocking and rolling with Neville. I was still in between law of attraction, law of assumption, but I know people say it's the same. There are some differences, minor differences. So I lean more law of assumption than I do law of attraction. I do understand that the law of attraction is what the Bible says. You are drawing everything into you based on who you are, right? It says the scriptures, no man comes to me unless the Father within me draws him. So everything that comes to you is based off that principle. You're bringing everything into your experience by the way you perceive reality.
That everything that you are literally saying is so true on so many levels. And it's crazy because it's like law of assumption and law of attraction, they have their similar, like they have their similarities like here and there, but they do have very distinct properties. And I don't know if how um sometimes it like when people like some people come on the page and I'm like they're like, oh, like what's the difference between law of attraction and law of assumption? And I'm like, well, law of assumption is a matter of you changing your self-concept and changing your thoughts and how you're perceiving it. Law of attraction is just about drawing the things in. And then when you incorporate the fact that, because I've always been like, God is in me. Like I've always stated that, like God is in me, like he's not separate from me. Like I know he's in me. And I always have this like weird theory that because I like to study like the parapsychology and like the reincarnation and the consciousness studies. Like I'm obsessed with this. Like I'm obsessed with anything conscious, psychedelics and research, and like I'm obsessed with it all. But I'm very much an omnist, where it's the complete opposite of an atheist. An omnist is somebody who finds the truth in everything. So I study, like I've studied in school. I had to take a world religions class. I'm in a graduate program for mindfulness. So I'm studying a lot of Buddha, like a lot of Eastern philosophy and Buddha, learning about Buddha and meditation and Tao and like different things like that. I plan on eventually getting a master's degree in parapsychology and consciousness, as well as transpersonal psychology and therapist degree in holistic psychology with a neuroscience, and then a PhD later on at some point in neuroscience. Okay. But that's besides the point. I'm just obsessed with it. I'm obsessed with the brain. I'm obsessed with learning about it. And I had like this theory because I'm learning, like, since I understand like the reincarnation, I was like, wait, I believe in reincarnation because if energy cannot be created or destroyed, God is energy, God is infinite, God is literally omnipresent, and he's in everything we touch and everything down to a particle atom, then reincarnation is real. Because God is infinite. So where do the souls go?
Right.
They get reincarnated. So like, okay, this actually makes sense. I have no evidence of proving this theory. I would love to prove this theory. I don't know how to prove this theory, but I'm gonna figure that out. I can talk about it all day. It's just, that's just where it's like these random big questions. I love questioning things, not from like a place of not knowing, but a place of curiosity.
Right.
Like that childlike curiosity of, I'm always asking like, well, what about this? Like, what about like, is this, like, I even learned when I took my cell and molecular biology class, and then I took a nutrition class, taking that cell and molecular biology class helped me to understand that it helped me to understand who we are on the basis, like on a basis of, oh, we are cells too. It helped me to understand how we operate as a cell, like what our body needs, like how entropy and all of these different concepts. That's the basics. Like that's if you learn cell and molecular biology, then you understand that that's literally the basis of everything. It's the basis of science. It's the basis of who we are. It's the basis of nutrition, and then you expand on that. And I was like, oh, now I get why I have to take this. I get it, because it also talks about the universe and entropy, and like when you bring in the entropy, then you understand, oh, you got to break it down if we get too hot. So you get it, like you really start to get it on a cell and molecular structure.
So you're more to the science part of it. I'll leave that to you. I don't get into the science. I stay with the psychology, which I know psychology is supposed to be a science type thing, but I stay more with the biblical philosophy, the mental sphere. I don't get too much into the science, the chemistry, the physiology or anatomy of it all, or the cellular level. I'm like, I'm sorry.
I understand both.
Okay.
I do understand. So I like to bring both concepts into the mix. Like I meet in the middle. I like understand the science, but then and the psychology, and then I understand the spiritual side of it. So I bring both into play into my understanding, and then and I break it down into dummy form, so I can go back to it, and then others find it helpful because I break it down.
I love it. I love to hear people talk about it. I just know that's not my lane. I stay
I
with
can
the
talk about
spiritual,
all.
like the mind science. I stay with that part of it, you know.
I can talk about it all. I can talk about it all. I can literally talk about it all day, you can see that I'm passionate about it, and I'm like, oh yay! Like it makes me happy. It makes me like a little child. Like it makes me happy, and it makes me like a little child in the candy store.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Yes. So when it comes to manifesting, do you like get into like techniques and all of that, or how do you?
Um, I feel like when it comes to the techniques, at the moment I'm weaning myself off of trying to do techniques. I'm weaning myself off of it. Um, but for the most part, I used to be a diehard, like, I'm gonna flip my thoughts, I'm gonna affirm, like, do, like, quote unquote robotic affirmations and stuff. I occasionally do scripting when I feel like it. I don't like make it an everyday thing. I just do it when I feel like it. But for the most part, I'm predominantly a subliminal and affirmation girl, like an affirmation tape girly, where I'll listen to it at night. I think over time, I was like, why am I working hard? I feel like I'm working hard and feel like I'm putting too much effort. So I think the subliminals and affirmation tapes do the same exact thing as robotic affirmations. So I'm gonna work smarter, not harder. And if I feel like doing scripting, I'll do it. I play The Sims, um, and I make my Sim self in The Sims, and I put everything that I want to see for myself. I put it in the Sims game.
Oh, that's a good
Um,
idea. That's nice.
it helps me to visualize, and that's how I visualize. And a lot of the thing, if I don't do that, then I draw, because for whatever reason I have the Amtasia thing, but because I can't see it, like I just see black, but I visualize just not the way that everyone else visualizes.
Oh, okay. Okay. So when you say, what did you call it?
It's called Amtasia, where you don't have the ability to visualize, and you just see black. But I realized, okay, I pay attention to detail. So like I can literally, if I got my computer, I could literally go in the Sims game, and I can literally go by detail and put you in my Sims game by detail, and it'll look exactly like you.
Okay. So is that similar to what people say that they can't hear voices or they can't hear their own voice? Like I've heard people say that they can't. I thought that was, I was like, so when you read quietly, you don't hear your own voice? And people were saying, no, that like that. I saw that on TikTok maybe about a year ago. And I was seeing a lot of videos of people saying that most people said they can't hear their own voice. I thought that was new to me. I thought everybody heard their voice.
This is new to me. Not
All right. Well, just like you just said, I didn't know that it was a thing where you couldn't visualize either. So it was like, I guess, you know.
I can hear my voice. Like I can hear my voice.
Right,
That
right.
um, I can I can hear my voice. I can sometimes hear other people's voices. It depends on it depends on who it is. But as far as seeing in my eyes, not so much. but it's something that I'm still working towards. It's something that I'm still like I'm actively not, I'm not trying to stay with the Fantasia. I'm still finding ways to help me to be able to properly visualize. It's just a matter of okay, well, how do I go about this? Like I don't, I'm still figuring it out as I go. Like I'm not perfect, but
Right.
I'm figuring it out as I go.
Right. Makes sense.
Hi, Kim.
Hey, Nurse Kim. Welcome, welcome.
I love I'm going to give you a follow because I love how you have holistic healer in your bio. I love that. Oh, okay. Yeah. I love anything holistic.
Oh, okay. Nice, nice. Yes.
So what in terms of techniques, what do you do in terms of your techniques?
Um, I'm mostly like what you said, affirming, and I don't look at affirming as a technique. I look at it as it's something we do all day long. It's some because affirmation is just something that you speak. It's something you say when you're having that inner conversation, that inner dialogue, or whether you're having a conversation with someone else. You're always affirming. But what are you affirming? Are you affirming positively? Are you affirming the things that you want to see? Or are you affirming the things that you don't want to see? Are you affirming the unwanted? Have to be very, very selective and mindful of the words that we speak because they literally are creating our reality. So I'm very diligent in what I'm thinking and what I'm speaking. So that's how I create. I'm not a visual person. Like I can imagine things, I can see things in my mind. I can imagine a waterfall if I needed to. I could see myself walking, but that's not how I manifest. I manifest through the spoken word. I speak those things that be not as though they were. And I continue, and so I'm big on meditation. Meditation to me is not a technique as well. It's a way of life. That's how you get to know yourself. You have to spend time with yourself. You must be one with yourself. So I really don't use techniques because I don't see affirmations as a technique and I don't see meditation as a technique. I see those as a part of us. That is who we are. Scripture says that his delight is in the law of the Lord, and upon this law does he meditate day and night. This is something we're supposed to do daily, every day, as we walk the earth. So I did try when I came into law of attraction, law of assumption. I did try to do what others were doing, right? Trying the different techniques that people were saying, oh, you should try this or you should try this. And then you have to sit back, take a step back and say, well, I've been manifesting all of my life. What was I doing before I came into this awareness? Because I was always manifesting. I can look back and say, oh, I remember when I wanted this and I thought about it and I just believed I would have it and it came into being. It's not different now because I'm more aware of my thoughts. At that time, I didn't make the correlation that it was my thoughts turning to things. But now I can look back and say, oh, yes, we've always been manifesting. We always had preconceived notions, assumptions about life. We always had different beliefs, different knowings about life. And that's how we were experiencing life. And so now I understand that in order to experience something different, I have to change the way I think. Keep it simple. I just keep it super simple. Just change the way you think. And your thoughts turn to beliefs. And those beliefs create actions. Actions are always the effect, never the cause. The world is mental. Thoughts are always the cause. Always. It's always based on what you believe to be true will be true for you.
That was preaching. And you're right. It is about meditation. That's why part of the reason why I went part of the reason why I decided to go to my school at Lesley University was because they had the program that I was in. It allowed me to the undergrad program, the holistic psychology. I graduated with holistic psychology and then a specialization in expressive arts therapy and then a double minor in cognitive neuroscience and photography. Part of the reason why, yes, I'm the queen of manifesting, but I also have this thing where everyone's like, oh, you need a niche. No, I am the niche. That's why, like, some moments you'll see me, like, I'll post up manifesting content, but then I'll post up a funny video or me dancing because this is me expressing myself. This is my therapy. And I'll post up like a learning thing. Again, me expressing myself. Expressive arts therapy helps me feel better, to feel good. And then I had a double minor in cognitive neuroscience and photography. But the program allowed me to be in an accelerated master's degree program for mindfulness. Because I was like, okay, I understand the thoughts, I understand the manifesting, but I feel like there's something missing. And I didn't understand what that missing was. And I learned that the things I learned while I've been in school, I literally have applied it and applied everything that I learned in school. I've learned that there are so many more ways to therapy that I couldn't even list it. I would have to literally make a post about all the different types of therapies that there are. That there's more than one outside of just talk therapy. You can do expressive arts therapy, art therapy, music therapy, photo therapy. You can do acting as therapy, play therapy. So me playing my video games, me playing Sims when I'm streaming, that's play therapy. There's so different. There's even this sand therapy. That's a thing. I was like, wait, sand therapy. One day we were in class, we were playing with sand, and then we had to like we had to put little things in the sand. I was like, wait, what? This is a thing? It blew my mind completely. I was like, but it worked. It did help.
Mm-hmm.
It was like that inner child healing. And then as a part of in the mindfulness program, what I've learned so far is that meditation doesn't have to be perfect. One, there are multiple ways for you to meditate. It's not just about you sitting down. You can stand up and meditate, apparently, from what I've learned. You can do talk there. I mean, not you could do walk there, like walking meditation, like that's really interesting. I've tried it outside, got stared at a lot because that's people are not used to you taking slow movements and then walking back. They're like looking at you like you're crazy. And I live in New York City, and they're like, why is this woman like, what the heck? It's really about like the breath. And then there's I also realized that music is also a form of meditation as well, which not many people, my school doesn't talk about that as much. Then there's forest bathing.
Oh, okay.
That one was the kicker, because I was like, wait, forest bathing? What the heck is forest bathing? But it's when you go out into the forest and you just kind of just allow yourself to be with the nature and just sit with it.
I guess because it would be like sound bathing, people with the bowls, right? And you're just being enveloped in the music and the sound of the bowls or whatever you're using to create that stimulation or whatever. But it's like you are the meditation, right? Because it's whatever you're doing. I like how Dr. Joe Dispenza said it, that meditation is just about becoming one with. That's all it's about, becoming one with. So you're becoming one with in that moment of mindfulness, right? That stillness. Being simply aware of the moment. That's all meditation is. Being aware of the moment.
Then there's insight dialogue and mindful communication. That changed my perspective on things. So like if you ever see me pause after you say something, it's because of that. Usually I in the past, before taking that class, I if somebody said something interesting, I would want to, like, I would immediately want to jump in. But I have learned the art of communicating, the whole part of communication is for you to pause. And I think it's one thing for you to learn self-concept and to change your self-concept. It's a whole other art to learn how to communicate. Like that, and practicing pausing before saying something, and the breathing before saying something. I'm like, oh wait, this is what it is. Like, and then there's these mantras by Thich Nhat Hanh that I wrote down. They're really, really helpful because it helps you to be able to convey how you feel without actually, it allows you the space to say how you feel without putting too much burden on like the other person. And I'm looking for where exactly those mantras, where are those mantras? One of the mantras is, I suffer and I want you to know it. I'm doing my best. Please help. You have you have said and believed some things that are partially correct, but in me there's also positive things. Like that's like kind of like one of like the mantras from the book The Art of Communication. But that's how communicating that allows for that space to open up the doors to the empathy and the compassion. And then it gives that space for the healing. And then when you practice the guidelines, I think the guidelines for insight dialogue, one of them is trust emergence, and that's like my favorite, is that trust guidelines for insight dialogue. Insight dialogue. Pause, relax, open, attune, trust emergence, listen deeply, and speak the truth. Those six or seven guidelines have completely transformed like my way of thinking and how I like literally communicate. And it's really great because it's a really great conflict resolution solution. It really diffuses conflict very well.
Nice. It's really refreshing to hear, your how much knowledge you're allowing yourself to experience, especially from the scientific state, because I have actually no interest in it. To be honest, because it's like I just want to keep things, and for you it's simple, right? For you to know what you know, it keeps it real, it simplifies it for you. To me, having too much information for me would just make it convoluted, and I'm just all about keep it super simple. It's like, who do I want to show up as? Who do I want to present myself to the world as being? And how do I go about transforming my mind that I can reflect that and help others to do the same? And keep it in that childlike perspective, as you were saying, right? Because there are so many avenues and there's no right or wrong. It's all about what resonates with you, right? How do I dive into these different sects that allow you to understand self more, right? And so whatever leads you and guides you into that ultimate truth of you, then partake, right? Because I understand that scripture It's very layered, and it is reminding us how everything is connected. So you can study scripture from a physiology point of view. You can study scripture from a psychological point of view, which is where I prefer. Then you can study it from an astrological point of view, from a numerology, right? Gematria. Like, it's so many ways to interpret scripture to show that everything is interconnected. And that's all you want to be reminded us, that it is a oneness, that there is no separation, no division. We're all connected. There's only unity of the spirit. There's only God or consciousness or source, whatever label you want to give it. It's not so petty that it cares what you call it, because we're trying to define the undefinable, right? I always say that it's not so petty that it cares what you call it. We only get offended. We get offended. No, it's not God. You're not God. No, it's not source. It's not the universe. Oh no, why would you call it that? You know, like, we get all in our feelings about trying to describe or label the undefinable. We'll never know truly in this finite experience what truly the infinite wants to express itself as. We always will limit it from our perspective, because this is what consciousness came to experience: limitation. It desired form. And what Paul says, great is the mystery. God manifested in the flesh. God desired form. So he became you and me and all the billions of people that exist.
When I miss him, he is missing me, even though we're in no contact.
But I can't hear you.
Somebody wrote in the chat, so when I miss him, he's missing me, even though we're in no contact. Yes, because that's telepathy. You're missing him. He's definitely missing you. It's what beliefs do you have surrounding it that make you feel like you're in no contact? Once you change the beliefs, and the story that you have, you then get to experience a version of him that comes in. And be the first to tell you that I've seen it all. I've been through it all. I've manifested quite a handful of SPs, and down to my best friend who I was in no contact with, and for 6 months, she now lives with me, okay, with her 3 kids. So when I tell you I've seen it all, been through it all, there's not one situation that I have not seen. So yes, you can manifest your person even in no contact. I do have the video, because when you're in no contact, you are literally giving yourself a clean sheet of paper. You have a clean sheet of paper to literally do whatever you want with it and to create a beautiful picture. Why would you want to sit here in no contact and you have no evidence of anything? Why would you want to assume an unfavorable story while you're in no contact? When you can assume, he misses me, he's going to reach out, he's going to call me, he's going to text me, he loves me. You can assume the best case scenario versus assuming the worst case scenario. I will never understand why we put ourselves through that misery of assuming the worst. Even as a society, I'm not going to say it's like there's a handful of us that obviously we're assuming the best case scenario. We get looked at like we're crazy because that's not how the world works. But when you really sit here thinking about it, the best case scenario, and it's assuming the best. That is how the world works, because you're assuming the worst with no evidence. So if you're assuming the worst with no evidence, then you can just as easily assume the best.
Yep. Love that. Hey, created by Fee. Yeah. Yep.
I don't know if you want to add on to that.
Well, like you said, it's the conditioning that when we come into this, what we call the matrix or the simulation, right? This is a simulation or a matrix. Whenever we come into this thing we call reality, the world is fear-based, right? Because we're reminded in scripture that we're not given the spirit of fear, but of love, power, and a sound mind. So when you operate in fear, you're always going to operate from a limiting perspective. You're always going to have a limited belief. It's going to be doubt and unbelief. You're going to waver. It's going to be anxiety because you're not coming from a place of peace. You're not coming from a place of love. You're coming from the place of, like you said, they used to call it Murphy's Law, right? Anything could go wrong, will go wrong. And that's what we've been conditioned, right? What goes up must come down. There's a boogeyman around every corner, right? There's a boogeyman underneath the bed, in the closet. Like, it's too good to be true. You know, don't expect things to just keep working out. That's that fear-based mentality. When you come into this space of self-actualization, you come to realize that my thoughts literally are creating my experience, and I get to choose what thoughts I want to have. That's what we have to remind ourselves. As you said, it's a clean slate. You're the author, you're the producer, you're the director, and you're the star in your world. Write the script that you want to see and just persist in that reality.
I say that all the time. Open. Okay, never mind. No, I say that all the time. I say that you're the script writer, the director, the producer, the sun, the star, the moon. Say that all the time. Literally. The irony is that if you sit here thinking about it, when you're born in... Yes? Thank you. The props of Bestie, okay? Bestie that I manifested back, okay?
Breakfast or lunch.
Food
Yes.
form.
Yes.
I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. I don't mean to do that to y'all.
And so we have a
Amazing.
question.
Anyway.
Yeah. So we have a question that says, what if you are in contact, but he is mean, though I affirm the opposite?
Ooh.
Remember what I tell you, created by fear. You're the one thinking the thought. How about we change the thought? How about we perceive it differently? How about we extend grace? We're so quick to not give people the benefit of the doubt. We allow actions or circumstances to determine our reality, when it really should be we determine our reality through our thought. Because you can easily say that this person is kind, is understanding, is grace. He's only in a state. And so I'm going to lift him out of the state that I call mean and put him in a state that I call kindness and understanding and forgiving and warmth. Someone that enjoys my company, that loves that I'm in their presence. It really is the thoughts that you're thinking. Your perception is literally creating your reality. And all you have to do is choose to perceive it differently. As Neville Goddard would say, never accept an experience you don't like. Just don't accept it. Don't accept it. So you have something to add?
My add and takeaway from that is I want to add that if he's being... How do I put this? So, some people may consider this messing with the middle, but it's not. If he is being mean to you, why would you pay attention to a version of him that's being mean to you? Why would you do that? If he's being mean to you in this moment and you're in contact with him, no, you take your energy away from him until he shows up as the version of him that is kind, loving, compassionate, and tell the story that he's kind, loving, and compassionate. Don't acknowledge the version of him that you want. I notice, and I'm guilty of this too. I notice with a lot of people, they will pay attention to a version of them, their SPs, that is not serving them. So if you know you're not getting what you want from that version, you take your attention away from them. Make them. It's like you can't tell the man. You can't tell them in the physical. You gotta tell them in your mind. You don't tell the men in physical. If there's any men watching this, hi, but I'm giving away your secret because this is true. You don't say, because they're not gonna listen. You show. Men are not, they're not verbal listeners. They're visual creatures. So since they're visual, you show them, you don't tell them. And then you go in your mind and you change them in their mind. So until they show up as the version of you, the version of themselves that you want. But they are you pushed out. They're you. So I'll give you an example. My SP, my new SP, he's literally my mirror. He's my mirror. He shows me me. He shows me the parts of me that still need work. So because I know this, I take the time out and I give myself that space, and all the things that I may want from him, I give it to myself. I might want that from him right now, but I give it to myself. And you're being mean to yourself. Hi! You're being mean to yourself because you're accepting a version of him that you know damn well is not treating you the way that you want. That's how you're being mean to yourself. Because if you were the version of you that already have what you wanted, why would you put up with someone who is being mean? That's not serving you. That's how you're being mean to yourself. That's like me staying with my ex knowing damn well I shouldn't be staying with him. Even that's like staying with an ex, staying with a person that you know is cheating on you and is putting your hands on you, and you know you should leave and you still stay. That does nobody any, that does you no service, and it does the other person no service. Leave, temporary leave. I'm not saying I gotta be perfect. Thank you. But so you do is you manifest a place and you put him backwards. He's on the back burner. Put him back in the oven and you focus on finding a place. Manifest a new place. He's on the back burner.
So I have a question created by Fee. What is it that you want? What is the solution? What is it that you want? Because every time you react to the old state, like Queen was saying, every time you react to the state that you're not receiving the love and kindness, you're perpetuating the old state of the mean version. It's all about our reactions to life, right? We no longer give energy to the old state. When you give energy to the old state, you're resuscitating it, you're resurrecting it, you're giving it life. So now you have to decide, what is the end goal? What is my aim in life? What do I want out of this relationship? Because once you can get clarity in that, then you can live from that state. But trying to change people instead of changing ourselves, we're working invertedly. That's working from the outside in. We work from the inside out. We change us. We don't change people. There's no one to change but self. No one to change but self. Hey, Grand Rising. Oh.
Or afternoon. It's afternoon, but yeah.
Yeah.
Angry. I'm not wavering. I'm deciding. So There's a video that's on Sean's channel on YouTube, From Here Nor There. I'm also a mod for his Facebook group and his Discord. So Sean has a video on his channel about anger. So I highly suggest to go watch that video because it's going to probably change your perspective on your feelings in regards to being angry. Angry is not a bad thing and doesn't necessarily mean that you're wavering. It's more so use that anger and fuel it to getting what you want. So when I'm angry, I use that to literally, if I'm angry, instead of me quote unquote complaining or venting, I say what I want because anger is a very, very strong emotion. So since it's a strong emotion, you use that and you rampage the hell out of the affirmations, you're gonna see a difference. You're gonna see a difference in a heartbeat. So that's just my take on anger.
Yeah, scripture says to be angry, but sin not. Never lose sight of your goal, right? We're here having the human experience, which means we're here to feel our feelings, to have our emotions. The thing is, we don't let them control us. We learn to govern them, to bring them under subjection. And so I believe we judge ourselves too harshly, and we criticize ourselves and condemn ourselves. There is therefore now no condemnation to them that are in Christ Jesus. Those of the higher mindset, we no longer operate out of guilt, shame, remorse, or regret. It's okay to be angry. Embody it and then let it go. Don't let it rule you. Cry, scream, stomp, yell, whatever you need to do, get it out. Release it. We don't want anything pent up. That's where stress comes from. We're not pinning anything up. We're not holding on to anything. We're releasing it and letting it go and experiencing it in that moment. And then we move on to the next moment. Now we decide, okay, I cussed, I screamed, I shouted, I got mad. What is my aim? What is my goal? Because that's where I'm going to live from, that state.
That's it. That's literally it. Like, what is the goal? What is the goal? So, like, many of you guys are not new to my lives, so y'all heard me say it. Toya, you're very new, so you haven't heard me say my little spiel, right? So my journey of graduating from school was not the best. I was dealing with a lot of external circumstances that probably would have made anybody go bat crazy, and want to give up, but I kept on persevering and persisted. And at the start, when I decided to go back to school in 2021, okay, hold on. Sorry. When I decided to go back to school in 2021, a month before I was supposed to start my classes, I fell sick with something appendicitis. I was in the hospital for 5 days, fell behind my rent. The next month when I started my classes, there was a flood in New York, really bad. It flooded the downstairs basement. So my roommates that I had broke their lease, moved out, and they moved back to Texas. I had one remaining roommate here that was making the process of me finding new roommates because the management company was like, you either have to find new roommates or you have to move out. Keep in mind, I applied for emergency rental assistance, which was a program that helps people pay their back rent. And I'm like, I might not get qualified for it. And I didn't know that at the time because I had the roommates, I only applied for like my portion of the rent. So I'm like, okay, cool. But I didn't know that I could apply for the full thing. So there was this whole big spiel, was looking for roommates while dealing with school. And school was virtual, so for like the first year. I ended up in really crazy situations. The landlord wasn't trying to approve any of the roommates, even though I was actively looking for the roommates. And so I ended up in a 3-year process of fighting to stay in my apartment. The second year of school, my school is in Massachusetts. I live in New York. I have to go back and forth, but I didn't really have to go back and forth too much because I had a photographer that I stayed with while I was there for the semester, and then I would come back. But while I was doing it, I still had to come back because I was being taken to court for non-payment of my rent, because I was like, you're not making this process easy. I'm giving you solutions to the problem to get you your money, but you don't want to take them. So you know what? Take me to court, because I don't know how else to solve this when you're being difficult. So while I'm in school getting on the dean's list, getting all A's, I'm traveling back and forth to New York having to deal with court. Literally the first semester and the first time he attempted, he spelled his name wrong, which continued to buy me time. And each time I would go to court, it bought me more time. In my head, my end goal was graduating. And I was like, I don't know how I'm going to graduate, but that's my end goal. My end goal is to graduate and have a roof over my head. That's all I care about. Graduating, roof over my head. So whatever mountains had to move to get me to this goal, moved. The last semester that I was graduating was my hardest one because I was taking 6 classes and it was all online while dealing with the court eviction thing. That was the hardest one. It was my most emotional one. My advisor, my college advisor, she paid for 2 of my classes. Where do you hear that from? I got internships waived. I got my college tuition paid on my journey somehow. My friend paid for my college tuition. The school made mistakes on stuff. Like, there were so many twists and turns, but it got me to graduating. The day of my graduation, I found out what my school's motto was. My school's motto is, I would have perished had I not persisted. Right.
Right. Oh, wow.
Right now, as I'm saying that. Everything that I've been through literally got me to where I'm at. And I was in my last year, I was taking undergrad classes and graduate classes. And I persisted through it all. And in August, I was close to getting evicted, to the point where there was a marshal that came here and he ended up turning around. And it got canceled. And then a few days later, a miracle came through where it wiped my balance and I was able to stay in my apartment.
Nice.
But I had to stay in my apartment. And now my best friend that I manifested after being in no contact lives with me. And I'm so grateful for that. And that is a testimony within itself. And had I not known about manifesting and law of assumption, where would I be? And I've been super transparent on my journey and on my TikTok to a point where I've shared the highs, I've shared the lows, I've shared everything. Oh, there's a woman on here that I met last year, I think. Last year, the year before last year. I don't know her from a hole in the wall. She paid for me to get a new phone, and I'm on her phone plan. Never met her. She didn't need to do that.
No.
Many people on this app, they saw my journey, they saw my perseverance, they saw what I was capable of, and they're like, I want to see you graduate, so I'm going to help. Because my family wasn't doing it. But the people on here are my family, and they help. That's the kind of community that I have. So that does not help you to show that circumstances don't matter, that you can literally manifest everything. I don't know what does. What?
Beautiful, beautiful. Yes, yes. And this is so awesome. It's like these last since I decided to go live again, I have just met some awesome people. Oh my goodness. Like you, Lisa, Ema, the lady that was on my live yesterday, Creole, she's like, I was on live yesterday for like 5.5 hours. And she was there for like 3 hours of it. And she was just sharing her testimony yesterday. And it was just like, just how inspiring you all are. And like when you come into this knowledge in the beginning, you don't see a lot of people that look like us. And my desire was like, I need to see more of us because I know more of us know this. I need to see that though. And I have no problem taking the information from whoever, because again, it's not about the container, it's about the contents, right? I totally understand that. But we also want to see us represented, that we understand that God, universe, consciousness works in our favor as well, right? You want to see that, you want to hear those stories, you want to see those things expressed in your reality. And to continue to see the manifestation of that desire is like almost mind blowing, because I'm like, the amount of people you get to see. That's why I never say that social media, I don't look at it from a negative perspective. I'm like, this is one of the greatest ideas that we have ever come up with, known to man, that you get to meet people from across the world in real time and connect with them in real time and not having to be in the same space. Like I'm in Illinois, you're in New York, and we get to communicate real time. Yes, it's a virtual reality, but we already know this is a virtual reality. Everything is a virtual reality.
That's true. That's true. And the way that I see the way that I view social media now is it's a perspective. Social media is about your perspective. How do you view Aww.
It's a real community. I love it. I love it. I love it.
is social media is how you view you. Like literally. If you don't like what you see on your social media, then change you. Because odds are, if you're scrolling down your TikTok and your for your on the for you page, or you're going on your explore page, it's showing you what you dominantly are thinking and what you love. Yeah. So if you see anything that you don't like, you better be quick to be like, not interested. Yeah. And that's how I apply it to my own life. I'll be like, okay, not interested. Not interested. If it's anything that I don't want, anything I don't like, nope, not interested. Nope, not interested. Nope, nope, nope. Okay. Filter it out. Your brain is a natural filter. Your brain is literally a natural filtration system. People like to be like, oh, you have selective hearing, so you're very selective. No. Your brain is a natural filtration system. Your brain's reticular activating system is filtering out stuff. And when you think about that, start telling yourself what you want to see, and odds are you're going to see it on your For You page. It's literally, the way I see TikTok is like consciousness pushed out. Literally. Like, it's literally consciousness pushed out. So if you understand that TikTok is consciousness pushed out,
be back.
If you get that consciousness is pushed out and that TikTok is pushed out and it's consciousness, why would you entertain things that are negative, or posts that are talking about talking negatively about relationships, talking negatively about men. There's this concept that I learned about in school. It's called the mimetic desire. It's this mimetic thing where it's like when people relate to something, it will go viral. Like it's made by this guy. His name is Daniel Bennett. He's considered one of the four kings of something, and that's that. I'll do a TikTok about it, but it's pretty much about memes and how memes go viral. And when you understand that, the only reason why memes go viral is because it's quote unquote what relatable, because that's what you're experience. That's what people experience. So that's going viral because of your experiences. But do you ever notice how the negative stuff is easier to go viral than the positive? Why?
Tell us.
I'm still trying to figure out why.
Right. I just think because we're predispositioned, the conditioning is fear based. So it is. It's always the negative predisposition. But here's the thing: if we would transform our mindset and believe that the positive would go viral just as easy, it would. It's all about consciousness. We're predisposed to say, oh no, it's the negative. It's negative always. Why do we always think negative trumps? No, negative does not trump. Positive trumps. But we're conditioned to believe that negative is easier. All we have to do is change our mindset. It really is that simple. We will see more positive stuff. Because here's the thing, that's what creating your heaven here on earth now is about. Creating that state of positivity always. Because it really is perspective. And if we would just decide that, no, like you said, my FYP is based on my perceived reality. All I have to do is change it, and I'll see more positive things on my feed if I would give myself permission to receive it, to create it.
Last trip, yeah, permission slip. Give yourself that permission slip and go on that trip. Go on that trip. You'll be thankful that you did. Like if you're a baby, like when you're a baby, right? And you're born into this world. Did you come with conditions? Because I'm pretty sure you didn't come with conditions. So now if you visualize yourself as an adult and you go into meditation and you go and you observe yourself as a child, as a baby, like put yourself as baby you. Did you come with a name? Even though your parents gave you a name? Your parents gave you a name. Yeah, but did you actually come into this world with a name? Did you know what your name was? Did you have an identity? Because odds are you didn't come with an identity. You didn't come with conditions. You didn't come with a name. You just cried after mama's womb and was just started breathing or laughing, because I feel like some babies laugh. So either or, still, you came as I am. You came as consciousness. That says, think of yourself as like think of yourself as a baby and give yourself a new identity because you're neutral. You can literally shift your identity right now as you speak. It doesn't have to be a hard process. We make it hard. It doesn't have to be hard. Who are you being? Whenever I need that reminder of who I'm being, guess what I do? My reminder is that is my reminder.
Oh, nice.
On my door, so I see it every day. I need my reminder. Everyone's homework is to come up with 3 ways of being and then write a power statement, a grounding power statement to ground you into who you are. 3 power words. What are 3 powerful ways of being? That's everyone's homework. I already did it, but everyone else's, what are 3 ways of being? And then write a grounding statement.
Love that. Yes. And what do you mean you should be further in life? Where do you think you should be? Why are we not happy where we are? We have to love who we are right now in this moment. Yes. Because if you can't love you now, right now, when you get the stuff, you're not going to love you then. You're going to move the goalpost. You're going to create other reasons why you can't love you. You can't appreciate you. You can't be grateful. You can't be thankful. Be thankful right now in this moment because you are where you are and everything that has happened led you to this point. No remorse, no regret, no shame, no guilt. You are exactly where you are supposed to be, and you're the person you're supposed to be. It's just all about recognition. Can you recognize it? Because you already are whatever you're asking for. You already have it. It's about, are you going to allow yourself to be it? Just allow yourself to be it. And persist in that state in a way you do not know, the time you least expect. It will express itself.
My favorite thing to do is revision, Ho'oponopono, meta meditation, and the Heart Sutra. That's my favorite thing. The Heart Sutra is this thing that I found accidentally. I didn't mean to find it, okay? I did
No
not mean to find it.
accidents. No accidents.
It was just a random thing. But the Heart Sutra, if you want to detach, if you would like to detach, go on YouTube and find the Heart Sutra. You'll detach in a heartbeat. I listened to that in addition to the Ho'oponopono and the revising and the meditation. I did it for like 2 weeks. So best believe I was definitely I definitely felt the difference. The Heart Sutra is a popular sutra in Buddhism. In Sanskrit, I can't pronounce what it is, but it translates as the heart of perfection, of wisdom. And the sutra famously states, form is emptiness. Emptiness is form. It has been called it addresses and explaining the fundamental emptiness of all phenomena known as as the 5 aggregates of human existence: form, feeling, violation, perceptions, and consciousness. Form is emptiness, emptiness is form, and declares the other skandhas to be equally empty, and that is dependently originated. So, in other words, you're really detaching because then you learn that the form is empty, like we are emptiness. So it helps, and the reason why I include that with Ho'oponopono, and then I do the revision stuff, and then I practice the meditation. It's because it helps me to. The Ho'oponopono is for the forgiveness and the compassion. Metta is for me to receive love and to give love. So it's like, may you be well, may you be at peace. Like that's how that goes. And then obviously revision, you're revising stuff, the Heart Sutra. Top that off with the Heart Sutra, you'll be top notch. Those are my 4. Do that for 2 weeks straight. I'm telling you right now, you feel a difference. 2 weeks straight. That's my little that's my framework that I'm working on cultivating for my thesis.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Because, and that's why it's literally, I've been practicing it and like I'm studying it. And I'm like, okay, I'm gonna, like, how is it making me feel? So like the framework is that, but for my thesis, I had to test it out on other people. So because I need the data, to be able to talk about it in my thesis. So yeah, it is challenging to come to terms with some of this stuff because you're not used to hearing this kind of stuff. You're not used to it.
And it's really about changing our words, changing our perspective. So we say, instead of saying challenging, I know I use the word challenging not to say difficult, but I'm recognizing, instead of just saying challenging, difficult, hard, we say different. Because that's the only thing. It's just different. We're creating a new habit, and the habit is just as easier to create a new one as it is to let go of the old one. That's what we have to keep telling ourselves. It's just as easy to create this new one as it is to let go of the old one. And yes, it may feel weird, strange, but it's only different. That's all it is. This is a new concept that I'm introducing into my experience, but I'm going to make it as easy as possible. How do I simplify this? That's what you ask yourself. That's what you meditate on. How do I make this simple for me? I needed to reduce it to its smallest form, right? Reduction is key, so that you can apply it to your life and make it practical to you. That it doesn't seem so far out of reach, that it doesn't seem like it's on this pedestal. I need to normalize it. I need to make it natural to me. And how do I do that? Through repetition. I must practice it. In order for it to become a part of my life, I must practice it. Persistence is key.
What did Lil Wayne say? Repetition is the king of all knowledge. I'm pretty sure that's not exactly what he said, but I'm pretty sure that is kind of what he said. But he literally said repetition is the king of all knowledge. Repetition, repetition, repetition.
Yep. Hey, Mariah.
Like, I know some people are like, don't binge watch content or don't watch content, go out and try it. But I'm like, okay, you try it, you do the work, you try it, but when you're watching content, it's not for consuming it, it's for the reinforcing. It's the reinforcement of listening to the content. That's why it's there. It's not about as long as you're not using it as a crutch, it's fine. But if you're using it as just a reinforcement it's like you're going to church every Sunday. You know how you have to go to church every Sunday? It's kind of the same thing. You're using it as a reinforcement. This is like, consider this like church. You're coming to church. You're listening to us talk. We're like preaching to y'all. This is the reinforcement. You're getting the reminder, the testimonies, the success stories. It's reinforcement of the beliefs to know that it's possible. That if I can do it, if Toya can do it, you can do it too. That's the reinforcement.
That's it.
See? It's like it's literally like a TED Talk. It's like a podcast.
Yeah.
It's like virtual. It's like a private FaceTime, but on public.
Yeah.
You use that and you go with it. And that's how you know to make it normal. Because it is normal. We gotta normalize these things. Although, what is actually normal? I like to do so. I I like to, and these are the questions I see. I told you, did I not say this in the beginning of the live that I like to question? I like to ask questions. What is normal?
What is normal? Yep.
I had to read the book called The Myth of Normal. So after reading that, I'm like, what is actually normal?
Yep. You have to determine that for yourself, right? You have to decide what's normal for you. It's not about what society thinks. It's not about what your parents think. It's not about what your friends think. Not even about what your significant other thinks. It's really about what life do you want to experience, and put your focus there. Just make it natural, and it comes through repetition. I know we like to, because that's what all the subliminals are for, right? That's what all the robotic affirming is for. That's what every technique you're doing is about repetition. It's about repeating the process over and over and over and over again until what? It becomes a part of your subconscious. And then it'll just, as we call it, second nature, right? We call it second nature, a thing you do that you don't have to think about. It's an unconscious, it's an automatic response because of that's who you are. So you don't have to try to be wealthy because you are wealthy. You don't have to try to be loving because you are loving. You don't have to try to be healthy because this is who you are. And it's about recognition and proclaiming it. You must declare a thing. You must speak a thing as though it was, even though it appears not to be. Even though the five senses would scream at you, no, 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 this isn't true. No, 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 this isn't true. You have to be able to overstep, to disavow the five senses and create the reality in your mind and live in your mind.
Even if the world says you know, even if the world says you know, even if your SP says whatever it is that your SP is saying, like, doesn't matter. Like, it literally doesn't matter. Circumstances don't matter. Like, if we are, what if you get too carried away in your mind? That's a good question. Honestly, that is a very good question. Cool.
What do you mean too carried away? That's a judgment. Why are we making a judgment? Let your mind expand. Let it go as far as it can go. It's infinite response. Consciousness is infinite response. We're going to take it as far as it can go because it can never go too far, ever. There's no limitations in consciousness. No limitations. It is expansive. It is always expanding upon itself. That's why it keeps entering this plane, because it's forever seeking expansion. Expansion is infinite. It goes on forever. There is no end.
So that brought up infinite, right? So there's a documentary on Netflix. It's called Infinity. It's my favorite documentary, okay? My favorite one.
Oh, I gotta see that. Where do I find infinity?
Netflix.
Netflix.
Infinity is not even funny. So there's a thought experiment. There's a little experiment. This little thing. I did a video on it on TikTok before. That's called the hotel. It's like a hotel. The Infinity Hotel or something like that, right? And this guy came up with this Infinity Hotel where he was like, well, it's like if somebody checked into the hotel and the rooms were all booked, right? Where would the person go if it has infinity rooms? Like, especially if no one checked out. That's infinity. And guess what happened? Person would check in, and then they would move over one room. Like, each person would move one room, and then it would just keep going and going and going. Our brains cannot compute infinity because that's how big infinity is. It can't compute infinity. if really when you want to be technical with it, infinity is such a big thing. Can you count how many stars are in the galaxy? That's how many options you got. I'll leave it at that. Go on, Toya. I'm gonna leave it right there.
Hey, you got it, Sheila. You got it. Oh my goodness. Yes. I'm just trying to read some of the comments, some of the questions that we're getting while also listening. You, I know they said we really can't multitask. They say you're really just focused on one thing and you're just moving quickly between two or three things, right? That's what they say. But I'm definitely going to watch that documentary, Netflix. Yes, when we're done here. If I don't get on my own live, I probably won't get on my own live till later tonight. But we always asking, why would I be happy now if I don't want, I think I deserve, if I don't, or if I don't have what I think I deserve? Here's the thing. That's where faith comes in. That's where trust comes in. Because you're going to make believe you already have the thing you desire to create the reality of already being it. That's why you would be happy now, because you're creating the reality at, I already have what I asked for. That's why you would be happy now, because you're going to create the state of already being the person you desire to be. Waiting for the stuff to be happy, you'll never be happy, because the stuff will never come.
Nope. You need to be
That's
happy
not
now.
how. Yeah, go ahead.
Be happy now. You need to be grateful now. Start using I'm so happy and grateful for your affirmations. Start listening to the gratitude affirmations. You gotta be happy now, in this moment. Because guess what? The future has not been created yet.
You only have now. Remember, I remind us that tomorrow doesn't exist. I mean, yesterday doesn't exist and tomorrow never comes. You only have now. Everything you're doing in the present moment. Whatever you're thinking about that happened 10 years ago, you're doing it now. Whatever future event you're thinking about, who you are 5 years from now, when are you doing it? Now. Everything is always in the now. You only have the present. It's a gift. Unwrap it with glee. Be joyful about the present. That is your gift from you to you.
Yep. I'm being double minded. Like, I'm visualizing what I want right now, but I'm also visualizing a reality shift at the same time. That's not being double minded. It's kind of the same thing. That's not being double minded. Because if you're visualizing what you want right now, but you're also visualizing a reality shift at the same time, that's literally the same thing. At least in my opinion, that's the same thing. But you already have it. So you can't, I like to say you can't want something that you already have. Because if you already have it, would you be wanting it? Would you be needing it if you already had it? I know it's kind of like wonky to like, it's kind of like a new foreign concept, but it's like, if you already had these things, if you already had your SP, the money, would you be wanting it? Would you need it? No, no, no. Tell me something. If you tell me a different story, I'm not gonna believe that because I'm pretty sure. Yeah, no, I'm not gonna believe that. Um, Toya froze. There she goes. There she goes. Yeah, you froze for like a good. No, she froze again. You froze.
Yeah.
Oh no. Okay, there she goes. Okay, you froze for a little bit. It glitched.
Oh, did I? Probably because I walked around the house.
Yeah.
I walked around. So I probably was
You lost
in and out of my Wi-Fi.
lost her. Okay, wait. I saw another question. What about when someone brings up the past and are still upset about it? Do you want to tell her or should I? Are
Wait,
you
what?
still
What?
upset about it? Emma asked, what about when someone brings up the past and are still upset about it?
Right. So if everyone is you pushed out, and they're creating, or here's the thing, it's your reactions to life. It's always about your reactions. Are you responding to them in a way that's going to create this reality of being upset? All right. Are we going to continue to create this reality where this person has not forgiven or basically forgotten what's happened? It's really, have you forgotten, as Sheila said, have you forgotten what's happened? Have you truly released and let it go? Because when you truly release and let it go, how another person is reacting or responding has nothing to do with you. You really would not be bothered by their reactions, because their reactions would mean nothing, because it's like, oh, I'm over that. I've let that go. I've completely forgiven you. I've completely let go of the situation. And if they're constantly reminding you of it and you're being quote unquote triggered by them reminding you of it, then that means you haven't let it go either. You're responding to them. It's always our response to our circumstances that tells us where we dwell, where do we live, where are we operating from.
That makes sense. That's a perfect answer. And if you're still upset about it, definitely revise it. Oh, I see Chais. Hi. Oh, wait. Okay. I'm trying to see what other comments are here. And if there's any more comments. I'm not used to seeing so many comments at the same, like all at once. I'm like, wait, hold on.
Oh, okay.
I'm trying to catch up. Mariah says she has I, how do I think, okay, wait. I was treated horribly by a group of girls in my sorority to the point where they made up something so horrible about me to justify their behavior. Like I actually ended up having to do no contact order against one of their family members. That's how bad the lie was. How do I fix that with this manifestation? Because there are things that still come up from time to time because of it. Revision. Ho'oponopono. Literally. Also, I have a um, protection, subliminal playlist that I can send you. That has a bunch of protection subliminals in there, and there's some in there for some gossip, and there's some revision subliminals in there. I listen to that every now and then when I feel like I need some extra resources and protection. DM me and I'll send you the link for that, because that'll definitely help. I've been in situations like that too, so I get it, but I also know that you can change it.
Yep.
Everything is changeable. Everything is figure outable. Marie Forleo says that everything is figure outable. Okay, everything is figure outable. There's not one thing that you cannot not figure out. Everything is figure outable. You just got to change it in your mind first, to allow your subconscious to figure it out for you, so you don't have to do it.
Yep. And so how would you go about revising it, Sheila?
I would go about revising it. Like for me, when it comes to revising, I like to be like, that never happened. That's not true. Like those are like literally my go-to. I'm like, nope, that never happened. That's not true. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't recall that. There's an anime that I watch. It's called My Happy Wedding. So whoever's manifesting marriage, this is your BBL. But in the anime, the girl is like, she's sitting down with a guy, and the guy that she's sitting down with is asking her, "Oh, do you remember this?" And she's like, "I don't recall that. That never happened." And I'm like, even in anime, okay? There's another anime where the girl is like, Spy Family. She has telepathy powers. She's a telepath. She can read people's minds. I'm like, aw. And there's one part of it where she's like talking to the dad, the guy that's pretending to be her dad because he's a spy, and he has to be her fake dad and whatnot. And so as some woman passes by, and he passes by, and she tells him, "Oh, you've always been my dad." I was like, wait, that's revision. Hold on. That's revision. That's revising. Or you can make a scene and go back, or you can do that, or you can make a scene, and you can make a scene in your head if you're really good at visualizing. Make a scene where you go back to that moment and it never happened. Like, choose what you wanted to experience. There's also a technique that I like to use. There's like a little technique idea that I like to use in regards to film photography, because I had to take film, a film class, right? And I never did film photography before in my life, right? So if you guys don't know like what film looks like, or whatnot, or how that process entails, I'm very careful, because this is a film, right? So if you're not careful while you're developing film, and you make one mistake with developing it, you lose your film. So if I put fixer remover before I put developer in my film thing, I'm going to mess up. I'm going to lose the film. Like, I'm going to lose the images. It would be like it never existed. I've done that. Not fun. Okay? It's not fun. But seeing as I was like, wait, this is kind of like revision. So if you make a visualized scene, you take a visualized scene and pretend like you're a photographer and you're doing film and you're developing it. You put the fixer remover in first and take that scene, put it on the roll of film, put a fixer remover in it, and then it wipes it and then doesn't exist. Control Alt Delete doesn't exist, because if I miss that one step where I put fixer remover into that solution, I'm literally going to lose film or images that I took because I did not put the developer in there. They're not there. They're not there. They're gone. Because I missed that first step. I missed the developer. So that's how I would, that's my way of doing revision. Now, how would you do revision?
Mine is very similar to yours. I just say, well, what actually happened was I didn't say anything, or I didn't do that, or, so that's my statement. I said, well, what actually happened? And so I just keep telling myself, this is what actually happened, whether I'm recreating the scene or saying I didn't say something. I just keep saying that. Yeah. So very similar. Yeah. But it's all about And here's the thing, when you're revising, you have to not talk about the thing you're changing. If you're going to keep talking about, well, this is what happened, but I'm revising it, that's being double-minded. You have to completely not talk about the event that you're saying never took place. Because if it never took place, then how are you still talking about it? You have to say that it never happened. Every time it came to your mind, you have to say, this never happened. What actually happened was, I became the president of the chapter. I became, everything was lovely. This was a great experience. This is what actually happened, right? That's what you have to keep telling yourself. And so O said that we missed her question. I don't know if she's still in here. She was saying that she was angry with the SPs. And again, that's all about revision again. Here's the thing with anger. If you're going to hold on to it and use it against someone, remember, how you judge others is how you will be judged. What you give is always given back to you. Pressed down, shaken together, and running over will men give unto your bosoms. So when you can't let go and forgive, Scripture says when you have an altercation against another, an offense, you're to leave your gift at the altar and go and get that fixed. And your gift is your desire. So before your desires can come into manifestation, you must let go of those things that you're holding on to that's going to keep you from experiencing the thing you want to experience. If you want to be back with the SPs, you can't still harbor anger and leave them in that old state. You have to let the state go, because the desire is to be with them. If the desire is to be with them, then we have to let go of not being with them, as seeing them as something separate from you, as something other than you, and being angry with them. Because if you're going to manifest the SPs back and you're so angry, then what relationship are you creating?
Ding, ding, ding. Like, what?
Right.
What? And then when you hear and if you want the man's perspective, like I said, go watch Sean. Okay? If you want that man's perspective, definitely go watch Sean. Because that he gives you the no BS, no fluff version of it. He gives you that tough love that you need to hear. Like he's literally telling you from that man's perspective how it is. Like as long as you have those feelings, that guilt, that anger, that animosity, whatever it is, the not feeling forgiveness, as long as you still have that, how the hell do you expect to have a different relationship? Now, like for me, when I think of manifesting an SP, I don't even like lately. I don't feel like manifesting an SP is just manifesting an SP. It's not about the manifesting an SP. It's really all manifesting an SP is reconciliation. That's literally all it is. It's reconciliation. If you understand the concept of reconciliation, and if you don't understand the concept of reconciliation, go in the Bible. There's a bunch of stories in the Bible about reconciliation, especially if you're manifesting an old SP or your friend back, like a friend back, or whatever the case may be. Go in the Bible and read some of those scriptures in the Bible about reconciliation. It's powerful. But in order to have reconciliation, you need to let go of the old story. You need to be able to forgive. This is why Ho'oponopono, revision, and doing all of the meta and giving love. May you be well. May you be peaceful. May you be this. Is so powerful. You don't believe me? Try it. I used to say, you don't believe me? Google it. No, you don't believe me? Try it for yourself. But the root of reconciliation is letting go of the old story and those emotions and those feelings, because how do you expect to have a newfound relationship if you're still harboring over the old?
Yep.
That part. Prove me and see. Prove me and see.
Yeah.
Okay. Really is.
Because that when you were talking about the I wish that you were well, wishing peace upon the other person. It made me think of what forgiveness, true forgiveness is. So forgiveness is twofold. Forgiveness is forgetting, literally forgetting, and then it also means to give forth that which you would like to receive in return. So you're going to give forth the love because you want love in return. You're going to give forth peace because that's what you would want in return. Everything you send out is a gift. And you have to ask yourself, if it was returned to sender, would you accept it back? That's what forgiveness is, to give forth that which you would like to receive. Because everything you're sending out is always, it's a boomerang. It's a boomerang. It always comes back to you. Pressed down, shaken together, running over. It always comes back multiplied. Always.
I don't know. I don't think it means forgetting. Where did you get that from? That's not true. You can forget, because that's what revision is about. Revision is about the changing the script, changing what's in your head, because it's in your head. The memory is in your mind. It does not exist outside of your mind. You're the one who's thinking about it. It does not exist outside of your mind. Okay, that makes sense. But yeah, it doesn't exist outside of your mind. Your brain, we've already clarified I'm the science person. Can't help it. I really can't. It's a general nature. Your brain is a time machine, okay? There's a book. If you really don't believe me, go read the book. I've talked about it in a few of my past couple of videos. Your brain is a time machine. Read that book. You will learn so much about how your brain actually works. Your brain your brain cannot perceive time. You can go into space and you can come back younger. Space is actually really the only thing that actually really exists. Time and free will, that's a whole other thing. But time only exists and is only perceived in your mind. Have you ever noticed how one person can be like, time feels like it's going by slow, and the next person can be like, time is going by fast? It's by this guy. His name is Dean. I can never pronounce his real name, but when you go to my profile and you click on you go to my playlist, there's a book playlist, and I list there's a book recommendations that I think video, and I list that, and it's in there. But yeah, time it is an illusion. Time is made up. Okay, it's what we perceive time to be. But the memories are in your head, and if the memories are in your head, then you can just as easily change them. Because realistically speaking, when you sit here thinking about it, your future is being created by your past. And the future has not been really created, but it's being created by those memories from your past and your self-concept. So if you know that, then use that as the baseline for helping you to shift and clear out the gunk to allow for a new future. You gotta clear out the gunk. You gotta clear out the weeds to get a beautiful garden. Your mind is a beautiful garden. Treat it like that. Like, yeah, snap my fingers. Just snap my fingers. Yeah. I don't really know what else to say about that. That's all I can really say.
Yeah. I remember someone said that their mind was a battlefield. I'm like, okay, we're not going to say that. There should be no struggling in mind. Life is a surrender. Let's see the mind as a beautiful garden. What seeds, what fruit trees do you want to see growing in this beautiful garden of yours? We want health. We want wealth, success in all that we do. Love, peace, joy, goodwill towards all. Those are the seeds that we're planting in the garden of our mind, in the Edenic state, as they say, right? That's what we're reproducing. That's what we're recreating. That's what we're reminding ourselves the state we're supposed to live in, that heavenly state of mind. And so people say, I can forgive, but I won't forget. Then you haven't forgiven. If you're still holding on to the past of a reality you no longer want to experience, you'll keep experiencing it until you let it go. That's why forgiving literally means to forget. You have to forget that you ever was the person you no longer desire to be. The scripture says, any man be in Christ, he is a new creature. Old things have passed away, and behold, all things have become new. Those who operate in the Christ consciousness are putting to death the old mind, the old state, and is being what? Born anew. That's the rebirth, right? Christ says, if any man is to come into the kingdom, he must be what? Born again. The rebirth. You got to let go of the past, which means what? You have to forget about it. It's a must.
My bad. Sorry, guys. Whew. That's how good that was. It made me sneeze. It's gotta be renewed. Renew the mind.
Yep.
Renew the mind.
Renew. Be transformed by the renewing of your mind. By the Bible's psychological truth. Lisa says, bless you. I stopped saying that once I found out why people used to say it. When I would hear people sneeze and I found out why people used to say bless you, because they thought when you were sneezing that you were letting go demons. I'm like, really? Right. So I'm like, well, I don't believe in demonology anymore. I don't believe in that concept. I understand that the Bible's psychological, and everything in the Bible is personifications of the mind. So devil, demon, Satan, those are just personifications of negative thoughts. Your negative thoughts.
I was told the reason why people say that people say bless you is because your heart stops. That's what I was told.
Oh. Yeah, I wasn't told. That makes more sense.
Well, like, yeah, when you sneeze, your heart stops. And I was like, oh, okay, that's why people say bless you. Honestly, now I'm just like, I kind of go through my own thing. It's still not, even with just saying good morning, it's still like, that's still something. And switching from high rising to like good morning, I'm like, it's still something that I'm not used to. So now I'm like, what? I just need to find something that suits me, because everyone has their own thing. And I'm like, you know what? It's not high rising. You want to say high rising? Okay. Sparkly rising. Okay.
Yep. I say great day. Great day. Great day to all. Have a great day. Good day. God day.
Be very intentional with your words.
Mm-hmm.
Hi. You gotta be very intentional with your words. Like, be so intentional with your words that it leaves no room for the doubt. That's how intentional you gotta be.
Yep. So intentional. Hey, AH, welcome.
The more intentional that you are, it's the more intentional that you are with your words, I feel like the faster you're able to manifest what you want with being more intentional. Yes, I don't want to rush certain things, especially like a relationship. Yeah, I don't want to rush it, because we live in that world of instant gratification. We do. Like Amazon prime example. We want our stuff like today. Like, I get it. But I think if anything, what photography, like doing film photography, taught me is that patience. Like film photography really taught me the art of patience, because and it taught me how to relate to manifesting. The first day of class and I found out I had to take film, I thought it was intro to photography. I thought it was doing digital. I wanted to drop the class. I wanted to drop the class. I was like, woman, what? We're doing film? I don't even have a film camera. Where the hell am I getting a film camera? School apparently gives you that. They give you film. They give you you get to borrow the camera. You get to borrow some of the equipment and stuff. I was like, oh, okay, great. Teacher kept on saying, trust the process, trust the process. I said, I barely trust the process in my own life, and you want me to trust the process with this? Woman, no, how do I drop the class? I don't want to take this class no more. I don't want to do it. I wanted to give up. I genuinely wanted to give up on the first, like literally the first day, right? First assignment that we had to do. We had to take photos of our home. Remember what I told you guys earlier? I was going through hell with my apartment and my building. I didn't want to do that. So that first assignment, when I developed the stuff, I had issues with the development process. It was able to maneuver with it, but it wasn't it. So the teacher literally kept on saying, trust the process. Now, you got a roll of film on this little hanky-danky thing. I don't know what I'm doing. And you got to do it in the dark.
Right.
You don't got no choice but to trust the process. You don't have a choice. You literally got to trust it. You got to trust that you're putting a roll of film on correctly onto this hanky-danky thing. Okay? In the dark.
Wow.
What? How? But okay, I'm gonna trust the process. Then you can't see and then because you put it in the tin, you can't see the images, right? I can't see it. Do the entire process. Blind faith? You cannot see it. I don't know what the images look like, how the images look like. I can't see it on the digital, like you see it on a digital screen. When I'm taking the photo, I don't know how it looks until after, right? So you put it in the tin, then you're developing. You still can't see it because it's in the tin. Okay, cool. You finish the process. You let the stuff dry. Then there's the whole other process of the photos. So towards the end of the semester, I had to find, I was like, you know what? I'm tired of this. I'm going to find models. I'm going to shoot models because that's my area of expertise. I'm used to shooting models. I'm a fashion model. I love shooting fashion. I love shooting beauty. I'm going to find some models. Kid you not? That was a process in and of itself because no model was reliable in Massachusetts. And all of my contacts are here in New York. I was like, all right, what the hell do I do? So I ended up with this on the first try.
Okay.
And this. And I have some other
Nice.
and I have some other ones and some other images. Hold on. I can show you guys. Give me a second.
Those are nice. You have a really good eye, huh?
I literally remember what I said, guys. My teacher kept on saying, trust the process, right? Trust the process. Now, one of my favorite photos that I need to get framed outside of the two that you just saw. Wait, no, that's not it. This one.
Oh, nice.
Film.
Nice.
Now, see, I got an A in the class, and I was worried for nothing.
Right. Oh,
Teacher
wow.
tried to recruit. My teacher literally wanted to recruit me for photography as a major.
Oh, wow. Yes. Yeah.
I told her
Awesome.
no.
Awesome.
I would consider it as a master's degree, but I will not do it as a. I do not want to stay in school longer than what I have to. So the answer is no, right now. I will stick with it as a minor, and consider it as a master's, But trying to switch when I have papers and stuff, I'm not doing it.
Yeah.
That's just too much. So, but moral of the story: trust the process. Okay, trust the process. Manifesting is a lot of trust in the process and blind faith. That's what that is. And if I rush the process with my film, I'm going to mess it up.
Yeah. A lot of us want the manifestation, but we're not ready for it. Right? A lot of us we didn't dig the ditches. We haven't prepared to receive the bundle of joy, the baby that's been growing within us. We haven't allowed ourselves to take on the nature of it. Right? I always think about, like, when they talk about people that come into large sums of money, right? And they say people that come into large sums of money that aren't used to having money. A very small amount of them keep the money, right? Because the focus was on getting the money as opposed to being the person that has the money. That's what you want to be. You want to be the person that has the stuff, not just focus on getting the stuff. That's why a lot of people say, "Oh, I manifested my SP, but they ghosted me," or "I manifested six figures, high six figures, but I didn't feel comfortable with it. My family was jealous, my friends didn't, that was an uneasy thing, and then I lost it all." That's because you never became the person that had it. You didn't cultivate being the person. You were so focused on getting stuff. And there's no condemnation in that. There's no condemnation in getting stuff. There are those, when Jesus did the miracle of the 5 loaves and 2 fish, the multitudes came because they wanted more of the stuff. He didn't condemn them, but he let them know that had you understood the miracle, you would recognize that you could also do this, and you wouldn't have to follow after me. That you also could create this reality for yourself, and you wouldn't be dependent on something outside of you. That's why scripture says to seek ye first the kingdom of God and all of his righteousness, and all of the things shall be added. The things always come with being the person that has it.
Basically, you gotta be. So how do you know that? Because I have a new grocery list and I want oysters now. Wait. I mean, it's very easy. You just gotta be. B. 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 What is B? Besides the
Is
letter
your
in the alphabet. What is B?
All right, go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I'm trying not to laugh. You know what? I'm trying not to laugh too. So don't like. I'm trying my hardest to not laugh. Okay. How do you know? How do you do that? Because I have no. Like I'm trying. No, because now I'm really reading that out loud. No, no, because I keep trying. No, stop trying to keep. See that right there. Because I keep trying. Now, I'm gonna forget everything else that you said. It's because I keep trying. Forget everything else. No, it's that one word right there. Trying. Stop trying and embody and be. A lot of us we want to see movement in our 3D, right? You wanna know what sometimes movement actually really is? Sometimes movement is sitting your ass down and being and cultivating the way of being who you are in this moment. Who are you being in this moment? Because if you had new ways of being and you trusted the process, that word trying would not even be in that sentence. So all I'm looking to say is that I do want to live comfortably while I manifest my life shifting fully. No, I get it. Yes, I get it. And guess what? You already have it. You already shifted. You already have it. You already live comfortably. You already have the life that you want. That's the whole notion of the being. You already have it.
Yes, you're saying you're wanting. Here's the thing. The things that you're manifesting, are you coming from a place of lack, of not already having it, or knowing that the thing you asked for already exists? That's the state you have to ask yourself. What state am I operating from? Sounds like you're operating from a wishing it were true, as opposed to knowing it's already so. I'm wishing this thing to happen. I'm crossing my fingers and I'm crossing my heart, hoping not to die, that God will bless me in some kind of way. That's not how it works. Not how it works. You have to already know that I desire horses I will have tonight. Right? It's just like when we say, oh, I want to go. If you're desiring to book a trip and you know that you already have the money in the bank, you already know where you want to go, whatever. The want of going on the trip is not a wish. The want is, I know I can go. I know this thing is possible. And even if the circumstances of your reality start to shift and start to say, oh, no, you can't go. You can't, this will happen, or you have to do this, or you have to do that. You know, you can revise any situation and recreate it so that the thing that you're desiring must come into being. You don't accept the 3D. But a lot of us are looking for the 3D to validate us.
We don't need it because we are the validation.
That's what it is. We're waiting for the 3D to validate it. And in the 3D, that's not how it operates. Stop looking on the outside for what's already within.
Mm-hmm. You ever notice how when you say I think something is going to happen? Like, pay attention to pay attention to this. Say I think versus I know. How does it sound? What sounds better? I think I'm going to pass the test, or I know I'm going to pass the test. I think I have the right answer, or no, I know I have the right answer. What sounds better? I think my reality is going to shift, but there's still this one thing. I still don't have my SP. I don't have the job that I want. So I don't think that this was going to happen. Versus, no, I know I have my SP. I know my SP loves me. I know I have the job of my dreams. I know I can manifest money out of thin air, the dance opportunities, the condo. I know I have the lifestyle possible that I want. Do we hear how that sounds? Which one sounds more confident? Which one sounds like I'm a little child that's scared of the world? There's a difference. There's energy. There's energy behind those words. There's a frequency. There's a sound frequency behind each word. Like, there's a huge difference. Sometimes you gotta be you gotta know. You really do gotta know. Yeah, sometimes you gotta throw a little tantrum like you're a 6-year-old. Okay? My niece, she's just turned 6. The little girl, if I call her in here and I call her in here, I ask her questions And I'm like, are you are you the main character? She shakes her head, yes. Are you beautiful? She shakes her head, yes. Are you smart? Yes. Like, I asked her these things. But you best believe that she don't get what she wants. She throws a whole tantrum. You want what you want? You better throw a damn tantrum. You better scream out your affirmations. You better yell out your affirmations. You better throw a damn tantrum to get what you want. Like you're a damn child. Obviously, don't do it in front of people because you really don't want people to think you're freaking crazy. But yeah. You get. That's how you gotta be. You gotta be stubborn. I don't care how many times people call me stubborn. People can call me stubborn all day. I would rather be stubborn than not have what I want. And I've been told that several times. Oh, you're stubborn. Am I stubborn or am I just resilient and I always get what I want?
Yep.
How am I stubborn for staying steadfast in faith that I'm gonna get what I want?
Yep.
I think people confuse stubbornness with resiliency. Because they don't know the difference. But that's not your problem. That's somebody else's problem.
Yep. So that's the question from Mariah. Are you trusting the process? Are you trying to underdevelop your film?
That part. So
because if you want the microwave experience, you want it. Okay, I had the desire, put it in the microwave, 30 seconds, bam, there it is. It's all warm and soggy. it's heated. But most of us that warm things up in the microwave, we would rather not. We would rather put it in the oven or recook it than to heat it up and eat it out of the microwave. Or you would rather just throw it away. Because reheated food in the microwave, 9 times out of 10 is not really good. The process of allowing your desired life to come into fruition. Are you enjoying being where you are? Okay, you're not in the condo physically, but you're in the condo mentally. You're not at the job physically, but you're at the job mentally. We live within. If you can allow yourself to be present in your condo now without physically being there, can you allow yourself to be in your dream job now without physically being there? Are you enjoying the process?
So I'm gonna get really transparent with you guys. Okay? I'm gonna get hella transparent. I come on here every day making content. That's free, valuable content. I overgive my content in my content. Literally. Hi! I literally overgive. I don't get anything. I don't get paid. I made 5 sales in my TikTok shop. I got 75 cents in the Creator Awards program. I kind of get some gifts here and there. I don't have a job. I just graduated school. I'm way over my head in debt. I have no idea how my rent is getting paid. At all. But I show up here. I don't even have clients. I just give out free content and I coach my friends. But I'm trusting the process. Even though my 3D in terms of my finances look like complete shit. I am negative. Whew. The circumstances don't matter, right? So how can I sit here calling myself the queen of fucking manifesting if I'm not applying what I'm teaching and preaching? So I'm getting real transparent with you guys. Because I don't have a plan B. This has to work. I don't have another option. I didn't go through what I went through, and I didn't put myself through school to not have what I wanted. But if I can get through all of these crazy twists and turns in my telenovela, you guys can do it too. But in my head, I'm a billionaire. I'm living in Texas. My social media, I have 1 billion followers. I am inspiring 1 billion people on this app and other platforms. All of my content always goes viral. I have a bunch of houses all over the world. I have a healthy marriage with my twins, maybe more kids, but I don't know. We'll ponder upon it after I have my twins. But I have to trust that the desires that I have in my heart, that I have been affirming for, that I have been manifesting for as long as I have, is going to come to pass because I have no fucking plan B. And that's the conviction that you have to have. There is no other choice. I don't know how, I don't know when, but I'm trusting that all of my bills, all of my debt is always paid for in full, no matter what. It's always been paid for. My rent is paid for. It's already paid for. It's already done. I already have the money. I already have the followers. I already have the husband. I already have it all. I already have the kids. It's there. It's here. It's now. In this moment, it's done. It is done. It's done. It's done.
Yes.
That was not easy
It's
to say.
done. It's done. I felt that. It's done. It's done. They're right. You remind me of what my son said, that because he's 19. He might have said this about a year ago, that, his friends was asking him, I think maybe he was watching on YouTube or something, and he came to me, he was like, people always asking about a plan B, a plan B. There is no plan B. There's only plan A. That's all there is. There are no other options. That's the only option. You're showing us that you must trust and believe in you, and that we don't settle or compromise. You don't have to take less than the best of what you want. You deserve it simply because of who you are. We're not proving worthiness. We're not trying to earn anything. It's simply because of who you are. You shall have it because it's already done.
Even if the world says no. No, I'm getting that yes, even if the world tells me no, even if my friends don't understand why I'm doing it, even it doesn't matter. I sprained my ankle last week going up the stairs. But you know what I did? Instead of me sitting on my butt on my bed, just sitting on my butt on my bed, I was like, you know what? I'm on bed rest. I gotta keep my foot elevated, but okay. Let me get on this damn app and network my little tail off and start doing lives with people. Let me make content, because I can easily sleep all day. No, let me make my content. Let me network. Let me do lives with people. Let me show up. Let me get on my Zoom and do what I gotta do. I want my life to change. I need to be the change. So here I am. What? This is 5 lives now?
Nice.
5 lives back to back every day. That's not including the gaming lives that some of y'all have come on to see. That's not including my solo lives. I hit 17K on Sunday. I'm now almost at 18K. That's just from being like, I don't have a plan B. I need to keep going even if I have a sprained ankle and I'm in pain. I have to keep pushing. Because my success story is greater. My success story is greater than my past. My success story is greater than what I'm currently going through right now. You are the testimony for somebody else.
Yep. You are the example, right? You're the example. You're the light. You are the light, the bright, shining light.
It's the light. It is literally the life. It's literally about being the light, being the example, being the version of you that has it and accepting the things as truth. And I really appreciate that.
Yes.
That's how you know you're doing the work. When stuff that you're saying resonates.
Yeah. Yeah. It allows you to keep going forward. No looking back. No looking back. We're not looking back. Tunnel vision. That's all it is. We're no Lot's wife. No Lot's wife. No looking back. Not trying to figure out, well, maybe I'll, nope. Maybe, nope. No maybes, no buts, no ifs,
Yes,
no wins.
I'm allergic to the word no, okay? I'm allergic to the word no. Someone tells me no. Oh, well, you can't, no, you can't always, no. You can't always get what you want. Me, I always get what I want. We always get what we want.
Yep.
Well, I'm glad that I did that. I really am glad that I did that. Is this easy? Some days are better than others. Some days I really want to pull out my head. But you know what? I will come on here and act like I'm perfectly fine sometimes. Unless I really, really need to unless I'm really having a meltdown and I really need to be poured into. Boy. Like, if you're having a bad day, allow somebody else to pour into you the way that you pour into others. That's a whole other thing for a whole other day, though, because I don't think we talk about that enough.
No, we don't. Yep. Yep.
About that part, and that's in the Bible too. But I think we forgot that. Pour into others as you would pour into somebody else. The way that you want to be poured into others. We gotta lift each other up on our bad days. That's just as important.
That's why it's about building community, right? That's why it's about coming together and our iron sharpening iron, that we lift one another up and we inspire one another, encourage one another through our testimonies, through our success stories, through our examples, through our life, right? Because the road isn't always smooth. Sometimes it is a little rocky. But you got the faith that moves mountains. The faith that moves mountains. We ain't climbing no mountain, Sheila. We ain't climbing no mountain. We moving the mountain. Yes.
What does that say?
Oh, wow.
That says faith. That's my daily reminder. Then I have this little, I gotta redo it. It looks like somebody scribbled that on, but it says she persisted. My daily reminder. It's supposed to look like I scribbled it on myself, but the person who did it, I need to redo it.
Okay.
Persist, no matter what the 3D shows you, because the 3D will catch up. The 3D will essentially give you what you're asking for. I even reached out to a really big creator that I've been following since 2020 that talks about manifesting, and some of you may know her, some of you may not. Hi Joe, how are you? Roxy Talks.
Okay. Not familiar.
she has over 100K subscribers on YouTube. I reached out to. I'm good. Thank you for coming in and stopping by. I reached out to her and she said she would be down to collaborate with me.
Nice.
I was like, yay! Like that's exciting because I'm like, oh, yes. Like that's
amazing.
had I not, and that's within this week. Like I said earlier, I was telling you, every person that I thought would tell me no is saying yes. Because I'm allergic to the word no, and I only hear yes.
Yeah.
I'm not accepting no for an answer. I'm getting what I want one way or another, regardless of what the 3D, if you want to add this, regardless of what the 3D is showing me, I'm still getting what I want. No matter what. Add no matter what to your affirmations.
Yep, no matter what.
I have people affirmations. I have men affirmations. I have people affirmations. Everyone and people are kind of the same thing, but I have people affirmations. I'd be like, people are always thinking about me no matter what. People love me no matter what. I had a moment with my mom and she was like, I love you no matter what. Wait, what? Woman, get out of my head.
Right.
Like, I've had people literally text me. They're like, I was just thinking about you. Oh, this does work. Okay. People affirmations. Here's a little thing about people affirmations, right? People affirmations are the equivalent of just affirming for your SP. Why? Because if you're affirming for your SP to do something and he's not doing it, take the resistance away by doing people affirmations. Because you start to see everyone else parroting and you're like, it starts happening like left and right and you're like, oh, okay, it's easy. So if you say, people always love me, people are always thinking about me, people are always texting and calling me first, people are always doing this, everything that you would like your SP to do, everything that you would like, some of the things that you would like your SP to do, put it in the people affirmations, okay? Some of the extra stuff that you would like your SP to do, you put it in men affirmations. You pair that with your self-concept affirmations, you're going to see a difference.
Yeah.
And I tell you, I started doing that. I started doing people affirmations and testing out people affirmations on a Sunday. By Monday morning, I got people like, yeah, I was just thinking, I saw a girl that just looked like you, and then you called me. Oh, wait, what? Like 6 or 7 people in that same week that I started it were saying that. I live in rent free. I'm always on everyone's mind. You think that if it's not happening with people, like other people that are not my SP, it's not happening with him? Oh no, it's happening with him too. Probably not saying it out loud, but it's happening with him too. The men affirmations would be like, oh, men always want to FaceTime me. First day I said that, one of my friends was like, he's like, can I FaceTime you? No, you may not want to FaceTime right now, but I'm asking for it.
Yeah.
I'm asking for it. How are you gonna ask for something and then you shocked that you got it and now you're like, I don't want this.
Right.
What?
Yeah. That's what I do. I build my husband up in my mind. I'm always speaking lovely of my husband. Always. Right? Because when you're married and you get to be my age and you've had people go through divorces and people still desiring to be married, you hear so much quote unquote negativity surrounding marriage. It's how hard it is, how difficult it is. And you have to remind yourself, no, it's as hard as you make it. And it's as easy as you make it. Relationships should be effortless because the relationship is always between you and you. They're just a projection of you. So when you love you, they always show you that you love you. And you have to be the thing you want to see. So if I want to see love, what do I have to be? I have to be love. I have to be understanding. I have to be giving. I have to be nurturing. Because that's what I want to see in my world. So I must be that. And I had to constantly remind myself of who I'm married to. I'm married to an awesome man, an awesome, he married me with 3 children. He was divorced, he's divorced as well, but they had 1 child out of their marriage. And I had 3. And we're a wonderful blended family. And he loves my children as they're his own. This is, I love his as she's my own. My children call him dad.
That's so sweet.
Yeah. I know marriage can be easy because I'm living it. I've had the struggle of the difficult marriage. That was the first marriage when I didn't understand who I was, and I didn't understand this law that your thoughts literally create your reality. I had no understanding. But now I have understanding, and I know that life is meant to be a surrender. It's meant to be effortless. We make it hard by putting challenges in our way. But if we could just simplify it and allow things to marinate, let the gestation happen. We don't like the gestation part. We don't like that. We hate the gestation part. Scripture says, do not despise the day of small beginnings, because God loves to see its beginning. Because I tell myself, everything big started small. Everything. I don't care what it is. Everything started off very small.
Same way you want your SP, your guy, to be like, yeah, the same way you want to be showered with compliments and love and affection, it's the same way the guy wants to be showered with love, attention, affection.
Yes.
Like, compliment them. Give them gifts. Raise them up. They love that. They may not say it, but they love it.
Yes.
They love it.
Yes.
I don't care. My SP loves it when I do it. Occasionally when I do it to him. They love that.
Yep. Men have feelings too. News alert. Men have feelings too. They want to be loved on too. They want to feel wanted too. They want to, yes.
Y'all really want to know what a man thinks and what a man really going through? Go listen to the podcast Man Enough. Go listen to that podcast. Go read the Man Enough book by Justin Baldini. That'll open up your perspective of what men really want to feel, that they're not saying, because they don't feel comfortable and safe enough to say it. Men want compliments. Men want to be raised up. Men want to know. They want what we want too. We want protection. We want safety. We want security. Yes, but men want that stuff too. They want to be secure in the relationship too.
Yeah.
They're you. If you want those things, they want it too.
Yep.
It's so funny because when it comes to my SP, that man's self-concept is like, wait, it's a healthy self-concept. I can't even begin to fathom. I never taught this man how to do revision whatsoever, and he revises on the spot. He has literally played video games on his stream, and last year he was like revising. Oh, I already won the game. I ain't teach you that. Where you learn that from? What, you in my subconscious? Where you learn that from? He did that every single time. So much so, his chat was like, oh yeah, he won the game yesterday. Oh, he won the game yesterday. The chat would literally, people would come in the chat and they'd be like, yeah, he lost it, but he lost it. No, he won it. He won it yesterday. And I'm like, okay. And I asked him, I said, did you know that you were doing this? He's like, no. That's how much of a reflection he is to me. He reflects my subconscious back to me. What I am dominantly thinking, he reflects it to me. If I shift my energy, if I feel uncomfortable, if I feel insecure, if I feel this, he reflects that. The moment I go back into a state of alignment, he reflects that.
Mm-hmm.
You get what you are, not what you want.
Yep. That's why being, the law of life is the law of being. You must be the person. Be it, and you will see it.
Yep.
This is awesome. Thank you so much, Sheila. Thank you so much, Queen. Queen of Manifestation. Yes. Yes.
Okay, this was straight up therapy. This was so good. This was really good.
You know, that's funny. Someone in my life say, "You ever thought about being a therapist? You'd be so good." No, I never thought. I'm just gonna stay in this lane of coaching or whatever you want to call it, of sharing. I don't even like to say coaching. I just like to say sharing. We're all sharing and building one another up. We all want everyone to win. That's really it. You win, your win is my win.
Yep. I'm like the manifesting therapist and future neuroscientist, okay?
Yes, yes. That's your title. Exactly. Wear it boldly. Wear it with grace.
Yes. I love it and I'm here for it and I'm so happy and grateful that we got the chance to do this live and there'll be many more.
Yes, yes, yes. Me too. Yes.
Next time
Truly
we gotta do
enjoyed
a
it.
virtual platform. We
Yes.
gotta
Thank
do
you
it
so much for
virtually.
reaching out. I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Wait, I think I'm all I think I might need a break and a nap after this now.
Yeah.
I definitely think I need a nap because
Same here. Same here.
it was good and I'm happy and I'm glad everyone stuck around and stuck around and joined us for the live and all that good stuff. This was amazing and I hope everybody, got some valuable content and I'll be uploading the replay on the YouTube channel and posting some clips as
Nice.
well.
Nice.
So
Yeah, so my YouTube is the same as Prosperous Living with Toya. You can find a link in my bio for the YouTube too. But yeah, so this is Prosperous Living with T, and that's Prosperous Living with Toya, my whole name. Yeah, yeah. So I look forward to seeing the recap. Oh, but
bye
thank you
guys.
so much.
You're
Yes,
very
thank you guys,
welcome.
everyone, for the engagement, for the likes, for the gifts. Thank you all so much. All
Bye.
right. Bye.